The college football experience, California Golden Bears 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorist t-shirt. Claim your shirt today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. California Golden Bears 2025 season preview episode. I mean, crazy off season in Berkeley. We'll talk all about it. Crazy season in general. They had college game day there. They got absolutely robbed and hosed by the refs. Even though they still did blow like a 21-point lead, but they definitely got hosed on a legal block down field going on. But we'll talk about that later on. All right. Right now we got to dive into it. All right. And by the way, we're breaking out all 136 teams. So if Cal's not your team, you're a Stanford guy. Don't worry. We'll talk about you private school pussies later on. All right. But in the meantime, you're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to. That's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
I am very healthy when talking Cal Golden Bear football. I've been a fan of this program for a while, I feel like. Because I always felt like they got a bad rap, I always felt like. All right? And you know, because I think most people think Stanford fans.
Yes.
But Cal fans are way better than Stanford fans. Stanford brings them down as rivals. Cal's got pretty good fans. Better than I thought. I'll put it like that. When I moved to California, I was like, wow, okay. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the college basketball experience with myself as well. Mark Madsen. Come on, let's get this Cal program going. But yes, give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monetline Mac. How are you, brother?
What is up, man? Yes, let's talk a little Cal Bears. Riverboat Ron, baby.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Riverboat Ron is the big headlines. I mean, it's been a crazy offseason. We're just going to jump into the slides. So jump on over youtube.com/the college experience. Put together some work on this show. But if you're listening on the audio side, you're fine too. But I recommend the visual. You look at Justin Wilcox. It's an interesting run. I am a fan of Justin Wilcox. I think he is a good football coach. I think he's had to battle extreme circumstances. And for whatever reason, he's got a little bit of Chris Creighton to him, Mac, where they play so many close games. I mean, I as much as I've defended Wilcox because he had a battle through COVID. Like other schools in the conference did not have to go through that stuff. They couldn't even practice in their county, I think, for a while. So I think it was a really hard, if you look at his overall record, it's unfair to sit there and say, well, look at him. He's been terrible. Now, at the same time, I do think he's got to win this year or they should probably move on, if that's fair. But I do think he's a good, a lot of teams would hire him in a heartbeat to be a DC. He's a Chris Peterson guy. and Mike Bellotti guy, and I believe in that school of coaching. Both those guys were just fantastic. So I think he's a good coach, but obviously 4-8 in 2022, 6-7 in 2023, and 6-7 in 24. But I'll be honest, if you watched Cal last year, I think most people would tell you that they were better than 6-7. Like if you watch the tape, but that unfortunately doesn't really work with coaching. So what's your thoughts on Justin Wilcox?
Yeah, unfortunately, you get paid for the wins and losses. And it's when we ranked our ACC coaches, I think I said, I do think he's a good coach, but they just have not been able to finish these games. And he has had a lot of BS that he's had to battle, whether it was the COVID season, and even worse, coming off the COVID, and just dealing with all the restrictions that California had for that season. Last year, their first 5 games were all single digit losses. I mean, could have beat Florida State, should have beat Miami, could have beat Pitt, could have beat NC State. I mean, they had 4 losses in a row by a combined like 8 points.
That's the Chris Creighton dude. That is his thumbs up. But I think he's a solid coach. Like I think he's one that, like, if you told me he's gonna, like, let's say hypothetically he gets fired this year, and if you told me he gets a second go around at another school, I actually believe he might be able to do something. But I think Cal football, now he's battling this other thing, which is allegedly, I mean, I've heard, I don't know that I buy into it, but Ron Rivera is the new GM of Cal. Yes, this Ron Rivera, who played at Cal back in the day, sticking it to Arizona. I heard speculation, and I don't know if I believe it. I know one of the magazines was saying like there's they hate each other. They're Wilcox should just leave and be a DC because Rivera's had it, and like the NIL collectives want Rivera in control of the team. But I read a couple articles. The gist that I got, and I could be wrong, I'll admit that from the start, and I would love for a Cal fan to step forward and let me know. I don't think it's Wilcox and Rivera battling. I think they're on the same page, but I think they're battling against the administration to get more money into football. That's what I took it as when I read an article or two about this. But I also have seen that there's other shit out there saying that they have been at odds. Either way, something was real here because once that the NIL collective pulled the money,
yeah,
everybody left. And this is recently. This was in like the second portal cycle. I mean, yeah, there was a couple that left the first cycle, but holy shit. I mean, let me just count. Let me see what I can do here. I'm seeing.
And while you're pulling that up, I kind of feel like everybody's on their own side. I think a little bit of both. I think Rivera and Wilcox don't hate each other, but I also don't think Rivera's going out of his way to look out for Wilcox because he's not a Cal guy. I mean, he played at Oregon, defensive back. I think that ideally, I think Ron wants one of his own guys to run this program. Fair, I don't think he's backstabbing Wilcox, but I do agree there is a disconnect between admin and the coaches here.
Yeah, they had 34 transfers out, and I think a lot of them came after the NIL checks stopped, I believe. Like, and I'm only speculating. I don't know this to be fact, but I felt like we knew Fernando Mendoza was off to Indiana regardless. Like early on, he was gone. Neziah Hunter to Nebraska, early on gone. They're wide out. But after that, I felt like there was like when Jaden Ott left for Oklahoma, when he said he was coming back to Cal, but then the check stuff happened. That's when I feel like everything went off. Javian Thomas, their other backup, went to UCLA. A lot of guys, I mean, Mikey Matthews, their starting wideout, went to UCLA. There was just a slew of guys that went everywhere to, a bunch of different schools at that point. They lost a lot of offensive linemen. Jonathan Brady, another wideout, went to Indiana. Tobias Merriweather was a receiver that had some success there, went to Utah. That safety Ryan Yates to TCU. Jack Endries, a tight end that I know the folks in Austin are raving about. He went to Texas. So that is the part where you say, damn, they just got annihilated in that aspect of that. And that doesn't, it's just bad PR too, right? It's very bad PR, regardless of what happened or not. You know, like who knows where the truth is there. But how concerned is that, or how concerning is that to you coming into this college football season? Because honestly, like, Cal was a team when I saw the ACC schedules, and we'll talk about the schedule a little bit. I thought at first when I saw it back in February, I was like, they could be a sleeper in the conference. Now, obviously, a lot has changed since February, but how much weight you put into all this movement and the bad look it is, and I wonder, and that's, here's another thing, is I haven't got any news regarding like who's winning this power battle. Like, is the NIL collective, are they putting their money back in right now or no? You know, like, I don't know where it stands right now.
I would imagine that the money people are winning. They usually win. I put a lot into this. I mean, we're in a pay for play era. You got a lame duck coach entering his 9th season. He's probably not going to be there. Odds are he's probably not going to be there. It's not good. It's not good for Cal right now. But hey, you know what? They're going to compete this year and see what happens. If they can go bowling, maybe he saves his job. I would think that in this era with Ron coming in, you probably got to do a little bit more than just 6 wins, which may not be fair. But like I said, he is in his 9th season. The record is what it is. It's kind of a shit show there. I think that's the best way to describe it. Not as bad as Stanford, though, if Cal fans, if that makes sense. It's not as bad as Stanford.
Well, here's the thing I want to say. Is if him and Rivera are on the same page, they're both defensive guys. Ron Rivera played linebacker for the Chicago Bears and was a defensive coach. So in that capacity, maybe they could be on board just with a little bit of winning, you know, just like, okay, defensive guy. I mean, Justin Wilcox comes with high regard. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know like, if you probably ask the lay Cal fan, they would say, yeah, he sucks. He's 42-50. This guy comes from a school of great coaching, though. Whether it's Jeff Tedford, who Cal's putting in the Hall of Fame this year, or whether it's Chris Peterson, or whether it's Mike Bellotti, or you know, he was with Wisconsin, I think, when they had Paul Christ. So he comes in high regard. I think he was with Sark at USC too. So like,
I was just getting ready to say, like, go look at Sark's record at Washington. He was like 500, and then he was a little bit over 500. Then he got the shit where he got drunk, and then he got fired from USC. But like, and I'm not saying he's Sarkisian, but getting fired may be a blessing in disguise. Go spend a year with Lanning at Oregon, his alma mater, and then he gets another gig, and he's a better coach the second time around.
Yeah, and that could be Wilcox if he ends up like, because I do think like to quote that magazine clipping of an anonymous ACC coach. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it was an like a coach said that he should leave because he's a valuable DC. Like a lot of teams would want him as a DC.
100%.
I think he's a good coach though, man. I do believe he's a good fucking coach. They need stability. Like, I'm actually surprised he's put up with it through the facts. Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's why I wouldn't fault him at all if he left and then go be a DC at one of these top 5 schools for a year or two. You change the whole narrative on you. You win a natty, and then it's like all of a sudden you're the top 5 guy in demand, and you got a way better job.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Cal fans, please, if you can, leave a comment on our page or whatever. I'd be curious to know where you stand with Wilcox, because he was clearly better at Cal than Sonny Dykes was. And Sonny Dykes went on to go to the national championship at TCU. So like, that might tell you something.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, let's jump into it. Ron Rivera, though, interesting spot. My first thought was like, if Rivera was to fire Wilcox, and this is what's dangerous on the win total this year, is like, they might can him early if you start out rough. But who'd Rivera go to? An NFL guy? I'm so curious, because a guy that's been in the NFL that long, and NFL coaches traditionally do terrible when they come down to the college ranks. Like, there hasn't been many that have been very successful after being an NFL lifer coming down. Pete Carroll's about the only one that stands out in my mind. Anyway, we're going to talk about it all, but folks, want to tell you that the College Football Experience Cal Golden Bear Edition is brought to you by us. Yes, we are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Get all your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series. Watching that right now. Go Beavs. NBA Finals, UFL Championship, CFL picks, MLB picks. Get it all on the SGPN app, which is free to download wherever you get your apps. So do that and let it ride. All right. Yeah, look at Riverboat Ron sticking it to some lawn chair quarterback. Let's go. The offense.
Ooh.
This is what I find interesting, man. I like these coaches. I think Wilcox knows defense. Bryan Harsin is another guy from the Chris Peterson School of Coaching. So if you didn't know, folks, that Boise State game, you might remember them pulling the Statue of Liberty out against Oklahoma and winning that game, even though they blew like a 28-point lead. Bryan Harsin was the OC and Wilcox was the DC. So like you're going back to straight Boise State right here. And not only that, to quote Go Bears 96, they hired our boy Nick Rolovich.
Hell yeah, baby. This is a good staff.
Dude, I buy into this staff. I'm like, I don't care. Rolovich's tenure at Hawaii to me was super impressive. Like, it made me believe that guy could take a guy, he could take like a crew working at Target and make them a fucking winning football team. You know what I mean? Like, I was very impressed with that. And I think it would have worked out at Wazoo had they not been ridiculous. But last season, so he's Harsin / Rolovich, and Harsin's the OC, but they're inheriting the 90th scoring offense, 37th pass offense, 103rd rush offense, 74th in total offense. So I'm going to guarantee the numbers will be better this year. I don't give a shit who is on their roster. I know they got killed in the portal. I'm like, those guys are sharp offensive minds in my mind. Harsin got hosed at Auburn too.
God,
all right?
Screwed at Auburn. That was such bullshit the way they did him. Yeah, he's a good coach. He went 69-19 at Boise. And you mentioned his track record at Boise. These are Peterson guys, and I like it. I like the loyalty, man. Whenever you're on the hot seat, man, turn to one of your own. And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down with one of my boys. So bringing Harsin back. I will miss his Saturday tweets about whenever Auburn loses. I do enjoy those. Yeah, trolling the Auburn fans. But hey, I'm glad to see him land on his feet in Cal.
Yeah. And I mean, it has me optimistic. So the offense returns. 5 guys. Trond, Grizzle at wide receiver who got some starts for them. Nick, 3 of 5 on the O-line that got starts a season ago. I'm sorry, 4 of 5 on the O-line that got starts a season ago. I can't count. Don't hold it against me, people in Berkeley. All right, don't worry. I've done the same drugs you've done up on the Tightwad Hill. All right, so bringing 5 back. Hey, you gotta like the O-line continuity. Their whole team was a fire sale, Mac, but
yeah,
they kept the O-line intact. You buy it in a little bit?
I mean, I know with Harsin they're gonna be physical. So bringing back that offensive line, and Wilcox is defensive guys, so that will be the identity of this team is physicality. But yeah, I maybe a little bit, and credit the offensive linemen. They don't care about their NIL checks. They just want to eat. Yeah,
and call me crazy. I know they got raided in the portal, and the world loves Mendoza at Indiana. They're already giving him the Heisman.
They didn't even watch Mendoza last year. His games were at 10:30.
That's what I'm saying. They went out and they brought in. First off, this was a big time recruit by Oregon. Jaron Kiwi Sagapulate from the Ducks. That's a big time transfer they're bringing in. He's not going to start though because Devin Brown from Ohio State, who started there. Let me tell you about Devin Brown. He's not your typical type quarterback. He's number 33 at Ohio State after fucking Sammy Ball, who led the NFL in passing touchdowns and interceptions. As I'm not saying throwing an interception. I'm talking about he was the fucking safety of the team and led the league in interceptions. Mac, you know I'm a sucker for a real football player. All right. Devin Brown starting for them. They also go out and get LJ Johnson, who was once a big-time recruit by Texas A&M, who's rushed for, I think, 800 yards the past 2 years at SMU. Also bringing in Kendrick Raphael from the Pussy Pack of NC State. Brandon High from UTSA. Come on, a guy named High playing at Cal Berkeley. This is perfect. Perfect. Jacob De Jesus, I think it is.
De Jesus.
Yeah, no, he played well at UNLV at times, so I kind of like that get. Now these others, I have no idea. Desmond James from Arkansas, Quarren Adams from South Dakota with the Yotes. They have a good program though. Mark Hamper from Wisconsin, Jaden Dixon-Veal from Purdue. I have no idea about those guys, but I can tell you this: if you're telling me Bryan Harsin and Nick Rolovich are coaching them, I am okay. The more portal guys. Of course, a bunch of tight ends. Landon Morris, he was very good at Temple a season ago or 2 years ago, was it? Mason Meany from he's a meanie from Idaho with the Vandals, and then look, Davion Harley, Jack State with Rich Rod coming in there, Jacksonville State there. Tyson Ruffins from Nevada, Lamar Robinson from Georgia State, Lawan Owens from New Mexico and Bronco Mendenhall, Jordan Spasovic Moko from Charlotte. And also Leon Ball from Mississippi State. Don't forget long snapper Caleb Johnson from Washington and punter Brock Honor from Arkansas State. Mac, this is the offense / special teams. I'm just going to tell you this. I have blind faith that this offense will be better than last year's offense.
I would agree. And one thing about Devin Brown too, and we saw this with McCord. I'm not saying he's Kyle McCord, but when you get out of the spotlight of some of these bigger programs and you go down a little bit, you excel. So I think that Devin Brown is going to have a good year for Cal this year, and he's not soft. I mean, he's a tough son of a bitch. So I like the fit there in Harsin's offense. De Jesus, he played meaningful snaps for UNLV. He contributed to a team that went to the Mountain West title game. And then the two backs I think are talented as well. LJ Johnson, he started at A&M. Now he's at SMU, or he was at SMU too. So, the offense is going to be way better. They were so bad last year.
And I'm with Rob Donaldson. The whole world loves Mendoza, and someone might clip this because let me tell you, I've been reading some NFL draft stuff, and a lot of people have Mendoza in the first round. I'm willing to go. I'm willing to say this. I could see some flashes of throwing the ball really well, but a guy who says he bleeds Cal through and through after beating Stanford, and then 5 days later writes a letter saying he's leaving for Indiana, I'm out on. I like Devin Brown to play quarterback, and Mendoza sometimes if it was he needed to get a yard on a 3rd and 3, he was getting 2, right? Less is more sometimes. Mendoza might be the more NFL ready guy. But that's not how you win games. They said Doug Flutie could never win fucking games. To me, if you're a gamer, you're a gamer. I feel good with Devin Brown and Sagapulete. So
his personality reflects Harsin and Wilcox more than Mendoza's. It's a better fit. That's where Cal fans, I think you should be excited.
And I'll say this, the team might not be as talented as the team from a year ago, but I think they're going to be better.
Agreed.
Talent doesn't mean everything in this sport. Talent obviously helps, but I think these guys are talented. They might not be as Jaden Ott is probably more talented. I feel pretty decent about that than LJ Johnson, but Jaden Ott was also a dude that was injured nonstop. So you get these guys that are super hungry that you could maybe even say cast-offs. I'm on board. Going to talk about the defensive side of the ball, which is Riverboat Ron and Justin Wilcox's forte in a second here. But before I do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience, Cal Golden Bear style, is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the first ever bank account that is built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. There's no usage fees, no minimums. They're not even going to do a credit check. Find out you've been sleeping on Tightwad Hill for a few months, right? Don't worry about that. They're not going to do any of that. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And this is the last week to sign up and get a free Refs Are Terrors t-shirt. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt today. We're also brought to you by Circa. Yes, Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the entire stay. They're going to pick you up from the airport in a limo, give you a $5,000 food and beverage tab from Stadium Swim where you can have your live draft, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates and 2 other bar tabs too. Don't worry about it. What a deal. Enter the ultimate fantasy football contest for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. Don't forget, if you're going to the Circa at any time, all you people listening in the Bay Area, we've all made that drive or made that flight to Vegas. Circa's biggest sportsbook in the world. You get 15% off at any time at the Circa with our promo code SGP15. So do that and let it ride. All right. Yeah, Keith Landry with a great point. That is a great point. That Kyle McCord was a big-time recruit. Will Howard was a 3-star. Will Howard won the national championship with Ohio State. Now, that's not everything. I know there's a lot of other intangibles. They've got Caleb Downs and shit, but
yeah,
I get your point. And I think it is valid.
And McCord had a great year. They both had great years. It's all about fit. Yep.
Yeah. The defensive side of first there's Devin Brown there, number 33. That's the way. Bring it back, baby. Let's go. And then LJ Johnson. I'm ready to buy in, man. The defense, though. Co-defense coordinators now Vic So'oto and Terrence Brown will be the DCs under Wilcox and Rivera, but a lot of defensive minds there. They were 36th in scoring defense a season ago, 84th in pass defense, 14th in rush defense, charting at 36 overall. And that's the thing that Wilcox did to me. I believe that these Cal teams that were so much tougher. You go back to the Sonny Dykes Cal teams, and oh my God, are you watching this right now?
Yeah, it's crazy.
This Oregon State Louisville World Series is crazy right now. In the 9th inning, a major mishap by the Beavs. But I believe
Cal's for week 1 opponent, I may add.
Yes, there you go. Great tie in there. But my point back to all this is that the defense, one thing that he did is added a legit toughness to the team. Yeah. So like whether I know they still haven't closed out games the way we think they should, but they've added a toughness and it's evident, and the numbers tell you that top 40 team in the nation in defense. That's Justin Wilcox to me. Your thoughts and can they keep that up?
I think so, because that's Wilcox's identity with this team. And the more and more I think about it, man, if they can just keep this defense around this range right here, they're going to have a pretty good year, because I think Harsin and Rolovich will get the offense going. So Wilcox, I think, looked in the mirror here, knew what he needed to get on that offensive side, because I trust that his defense is going to still be sound. I mean, those games like the Florida State, the NC State, the Pitt game, those games were in the teens. The only one that got away was the Miami game, and that was a crapshoot game.
Yeah. What a great scene, by the way, by the Cal fans there at College Game Day.
They should have fought. They were up 35-10 in the third quarter. Oh,
I mean, look, I know Miami won on a bullshit touchdown, but it should have never even been that close.
I know. Michael Irvin's on the damn sideline. Damn, that shit was so annoying. I want Cal to win so bad.
Yeah. The defense brings back 4 starters from a season ago. Trying to think if Burrell was a transfer. I think he was there. Nate Burrell, Aiden Kiana Anna, Cade Ulave. Love that with my margarita. Cam Sidney at the nickelback spot. So those 4 are back. They went out to the portal, because let's be honest. But let me tell you, they did a great job in the portal, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering all things considering, damn, they just tied it up. TJ Bush coming in from the Flaming Libs of Liberty. This is a guy projected to start for them. That's a nice get. Tyson Ford from Notre Dame on the D line. Notre Dame's D line's been awesome the past few years of college football. They also brought in Jaden Wayne from Washington and Chris Victor from Chattanooga with the Mocs, and Zay Smith from Houston Christian. FCS ranks, couple FCS gems in there. They also brought in Boom Jock, starting linebacker from Colorado State. He's projected to start at Cal. So okay. And then Harrison Taggart. Hey, someone was saying I look like Sergeant Taggart, a Beverly Hills Cop. Rest in peace. Coming in from BYU though, nice pedigree. Then they loaded up with a shit ton of defensive backs. Brent Austin from South Florida. He actually started a lot, and he's penciled in to start. Kwamari Shemwell from Utah. Hezekiah Masses, another one projected to start, coming over from the airport. Safety Tristan Dunn from Washington. Drew Polidor from Montana State, and safety Jordan Sanford from Texas Tech. Mac, a lot of new faces, but hey, I think they'll be similar. I think they'll put up similar numbers. Am I crazy?
No, because Wilcox is a good coach, and you mentioned it, man. They really invested in that secondary. Some of those guys were impact guys, like Brent Austin at South Florida. He was good, and then Tristan Dunn at Washington as well. So these guys are going to be expected to slide in and be impact guys. Sanford as well at Texas Tech. He played a bunch of snaps. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this defense and seeing if they can be as good, because last year the run defense was better than the pass defense.
Yeah, 100%. So there we go there. If you haven't caught one of our previews, well, shame on you, because we're like 20 something into these right now. But we do a thing called State of the Program. And State of the Program we talk about, and I think this might be one of the more interesting State of the Programs with everything going on. But also part of State of the Program is your stadium. And Mac,
you're gonna love this one. I know you are.
This is a top 5 stadium to me in college football. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I think they should host the national championship there. Me and College Football Campus Tour was saying that last year or 2 years ago. This is to me the epitome of why college football is awesome. It's like the Rose Bowl North, in my opinion. It is just a beautiful, beautiful stadium. So forgive me when I give this thing a 10 of 10. Cal Memorial Stadium, 102 years young. 100, dude. They've won, by the way, 4 national championships in college football at this very stadium, right? This thing is just fire. It's got the old look. It's the Rose Bowl on mountains. That's the way I compare it. It's fucking incredible. Obviously you got Tightwad Hill there where fans can catch games for free. Love that. It plays to the hippie persona that Berkeley gives off. Buddy, it doesn't get much better than this.
It's old school. It's nice, man.
Everybody's performed here. Like whether it's national championship college football teams, amazing Hall of Fame coaches, the fucking Beatles in like 63, you know what I mean? Like everyone, this thing is incredible to me. Look at this stadium, man. This is 10 million times better than fucking SoFi Stadium, that trash, right? Look at this fucking gem, dude.
They should have played the Super Bowl there.
I 100%, man. They should play the College Football National Championship. This stadium is awesome. It's perfect. It's everything that's great about college football. Look at that. You got a view of the goddamn. You get a blimp cam. How's SoFi's blimp cam? Oh, you can't see the goddamn field.
Hey, somebody's dropping acid in the corner over there.
And that's fine. All right, that's absolutely fine. Look at this thing, man. I'm curious, and I'm curious, like, what had I not come in here saying this is a 10? What would you give this thing? Because I mean, I don't want to brainwash you. There's Tightwad Hill right there where the people can go for free, drop acid.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that it's my favorite size. Like between that 60,000 and 65,000, I think it's 6 seats, 63. And then you add a couple people on the hill, you get up to 70. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I give it 10. I give it a 9. I think it's pretty fucking good, though.
This top 5 college football stadium to me, without question. And they have, in my opinion, you see the statue right here. That's Kevin Moan. I have a bobblehead of Kevin Moan somewhere in this house.
I can't wait till we do UNLV and you give that.
Oh my God. Don't fucking start with that trash. This Kevin Moan, though, if aliens, I've been saying this for a while. This is the statue of Kevin Moan, the play. In my opinion, this is the greatest play in the history of football. As
the band.
Yes. There is no better metaphor for what football did to planet Earth. If I had to go talk to aliens about what is football and what it did to planet Earth, this is what I would show them this clip and show them Kevin Moan destroying this fucking Cal band member. One of the greatest moments. I'm sorry, not Cal, Stanford band member. Jeez. It is one of the greatest moments in the history of life, in my opinion. Like Mac, I don't think you want to know how many times I've watched of the play.
The band is on the field. The band is on the field.
Oh my God. It's the epitome. Whoa. That's what makes the stadium so great too. It's like, yes, you've had national championship teams. By the way, John Madden taught a football class here. Taught a fucking football class here in the 70s. Marv Levy coached at Cal. I mean, you just had so much fucking history. It is fantastic. Look at that stadium, man. Are you kidding me?
It's beautiful, man.
Don't ever, ever, ever think about changing this thing. It is the epitome of beauty. It is why college look at that. Goddamn LA's on fire from here. Right?
Are those where the riots are?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, probably. Yes. I mean, this thing is to me everything that is great about college football. And Cal has a gem. I can see Jerry Garcia fucking dropping acid at the 50-yard line in the middle of a concert from here. Don't ever move those. Look at that. The old school C. Come on. I know I stockpiled like 50 damn photos of this thing, but it's well worth it.
We're never going to get to the schedule.
I know. But state of the program was really tough, dude.
Yeah.
It was really tough because you have a coach that, according to some, is riffing with the GM. You have a whole roster has left. And you got NIL people saying, fuck you, we're not giving any money. And you got a new GM that potentially might want to get rid of the head coach. I had to go 5 of 10, and I actually think I'm being lenient.
Yeah, you are. I gave it a 3. I mean, in the NIL era, and they're not giving money, that's not a good start to trying to sell the program. So I'll give it a 3 right now. State of the program. It's a lot of limbo.
Yeah, but you got that fire-ass stadium. So I mean,
but the stadium's old, so I don't know if it like. But to your point, we like the older stadiums, but I don't know if.
And they just redid that shit, dude. They redid that shit. Like they helped remodel that. I mean, they didn't really remodel it, but they put new seats in and stuff, and lifted it a little bit off the ground. So like, it's fine there. And every time you feel bad about state of the program, any of your fans, or any. Like if Wilcox is thinking, damn, if he's listening to this, dude, go fuck your wife on the 50-yard line of the field. You're good. All right. You're fucking good.
I forgot about Keith Landry's moment when Marshawn Lynch had the cards. I forgot about that shit.
There's so many, dude. They have players. That's what I'm saying. The history of the stadium is unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, I just forgot that he drove the cart on the field. I forgot.
Yeah.
Shit.
Classic. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, dude. Is like whether it's Aaron Rodgers, like you can't tell the story of football, the history of football without mentioning Cal Memorial Stadium. Like there's too many intangibles. Pop Warner coaching there and shit. Like there's too much football history there. Elway played there. All those Stanford games. So I mean, it's phenomenal. It's perfect. So yeah, 5 of 10 for me. Would you say 2 or 3?
I went 3.
And shout out to Go Bears 96. Glad to see you're in here. Donor boycott over. We raised $2.5 million recently. Wow.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. There is no reason why Cal has great history, traditions, great stadium. They should be at the forefront of college football. Like they should be in the top 25 every year. If they get their shit together, if they get their ducks in a row, they should be in the top 25 every year. As far as I'm concerned, you're in a place where people want to live, right? I mean, like it's as far as its beauty, like natural beauty, and there's so many great high school players in that state. You should be good. And a degree does take you a long way from Cal Berkeley. All right. All right. Let's talk about the schedule. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the California Golden Bears season previews brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes. And how about these Beavs pulling it off? Look, Underdog's going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonuses get. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you probably heard us talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a game-changing new feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's models have consistently won and have a high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. It's phenomenal. And Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. So what are you doing? Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals. And look, they accept a ton of customers from a bunch of different locations, even outside of the States. So head on over to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code TCESGPN to get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, man. How about these Beavs pulling it off? Let's go. I mean, I feel like even Cal fans are rooting for the Beavs,
except week one.
Yeah, except for in football, week one. But let's get to it because week one is here. Series goes back. Hey, the Pac-10 is back, baby. The Pac-12. I'm still bummed out about that, Mac. Cal heads to Corvallis, Reeser Stadium, in a series that goes back 120 fucking years. Thank you, Larry Scott, you pile of shit. All right. This is a non-con game. Cal at Oregon State. I'm going to take Cal to win this game. I am fascinated by this game. I think Cal's like Oregon State, Trent Bray's first season. I was not as impressed. Now that doesn't mean he can't. He brought in the Duke quarterback. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Who was at Texas the year prior?
Murphy.
Yes, Malik Murphy. But I think I'm going to trust the better coaching. Give me Cal. Want to know?
Beat them 44-7 last year in Cal. I think I'm going to go with the Beavs, man. I'll play the revenge angle here. Opening night, 10:30 Eastern, Saturday night. Oh yeah,
is that a C-dub? No, that's
an ESPNer. That's the main network. Finally, they're freaking giving back to the Pac-12 a little bit.
Yeah, let's go. Week two. My guy, Chris Dishman, former Redskins cornerback, head coach of Texas Southern. He's coming into Cal Memorial Stadium, and they will lose. I feel pretty good about that one. 2-0 Cal for me. What are you doing here?
1-1 for me.
Yeah. Then week three, PJ Fleck rowing the boat into Berkeley. I'm kind of fascinated by this and the Oregon State game because I find these games so fringe. Cal traditionally plays pretty well in non-con matchups. I feel like they beat Auburn last year. They beat Ole Miss a couple years ago, right? This is a 50-50 game to me. Like I think Minnesota's physicality could be an issue, but I also think traveling west, I think could be an issue for Minnesota with the way Cal just has a good home field advantage. That's a big trip. Series goes back to 1951. Look, I gave them the Beavs, so I'll say this is a loss here. 2-1.
And same logic for me. I think they'll split those two. I like them against Minnesota. Those teams that got to travel out west, man. We talk about the trends. Like, it's hard to win on the West Coast, different time zone. And we saw the Big Ten teams struggle in their first year going out west. And so, yeah, give me Cal and the continuity with Wilcox and company. 2-1.
I mean, if Deshaun Jackson kills it at Delaware State this year, does Cal hire Deshaun Jackson if they fire Wilcox?
Or are they going to hire Aaron Rodgers when he retires from the Steelers?
He will be a general manager or a masseuse
Consultant, yeah.
A masseuse for the team. But yeah, so I got him 2-1. You got him 2-1 now too.
Yeah.
Next they head to the Snapper, where everyone gets laid. San Diego, California, the Whale's Vagina to take on San Diego State. Series goes back to 1982. This is the Herm Edwards game because he was playing safety for Cal, and he transferred to San Diego State back in the 70s. I think Cal's better than San Diego State, so I will take them to win this game. 3-1.
I think they are too. I mean, San Diego State fans better show up for this one.
They should.
Yeah, but their fans kind of suck in football, not basketball. Yeah.
They need to just all they need to do is they need to just get once Lewis takes it over.
Yeah.
Like if he does take it over, like I'm talking when I say take it over, I mean like get the offense scoring points like the old fucking Superchargers with John Jefferson and fucking Dan Fouts and everything. Then I think it's because they got robbed their football. I think that they will all swarm to those games. They just need to get it going. That's why I actually thought it was a great hire because they had been defensive teams. And for that city, I think you need with what they've gone through, I think you need like a sexy high scoring team for San Diego, but it's not going to happen here because I'll take Cal to win the game.
I'll take Cal as well. I think they're farther along.
So I got them. We both got them. 3-1?
Yeah.
Damn. Then they take a trip to Chestnut Hill. You want to talk about a game? I have no idea.
I mean, how can you take Cal at BC?
I mean, I would take BC just because of the trip, but I mean, this is not like historically it hasn't been a lit environment. So it's like
Billy Teapot does got it going.
He does got it going. I was impressed year one. I'll take BC, but it wouldn't shock me if Cal won this game.
I don't think they're going to win at San Diego State and at BC back-to-back weeks. So I'll have them 3-2 for me.
I'll take BC too, but I mean, to me, it's just like I don't think anybody in the world would be shocked if Cal beat Boston College. If you're reading the headline, Cal beats Boston College.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I'll say BC wins though, 3-2. Next up, Duke is heading to Berkeley, California. I will take Duke here. Duke, the series goes back to 1962. Now, I am a little bit concerned, and my brother's a big time NC Nick's a big time Duke fan. He's concerned about this game. We were talking about this, and he goes, "Man, that road trip to Cal, I feel like we're gonna lose that game." And I was like, "I don't know, man, because I kind of like what Duke did in the portal. They're throwing money into the program. I'm gonna take Duke. I'll have Cal at 3-3."
This is a back-to-back road spot after they're at Syracuse. Give me Cal. Give me Cal to get this one. 4-2.
Let's go. Then we got a bye week there. Shout out to the Cal Golden Bears and Kevin Moan statue.
This game is great.
Then we got Chapel Bill going to Tightwad Hill in Berkeley. This game's fucking priceless. Series goes back to 2. The Cal swept them in 7. This is what I mean. Cal does good in the non-con, dude.
Yeah.
They swept UNC in 17 and 18. I'll take Cal. If I gave them the Duke game, they're going to get one of those games.
Yeah.
So give me a win here.
Give me Belichick on off a bye. So I'll take Carolina. Use it as NFL trends. He was good off a bye in the NFL.
There you go. So we both have the same record again. What is that? 5-3?
Or 4-3.
4-3. 4-3. Okay. Then after that, they head to Blacksburg, Virginia. So this one is
another Friday night game. They have back-to-back Fridays.
I'm not a big fan of Virginia Tech. But the environment and the cross-country trip make me want to take Virginia Tech. But I think Cal's a better football team than Virginia Tech. Like, if they're playing this game in fucking Nashville or Detroit or something, I would take Cal to win the fucking game. I think they have better players. But, Enter Sandman, I got to take the Hokies.
I'm taking the Hokies, too. Friday night, Blacksburg. Give me the Hokies to get this done. Yeah, chat's asking, is Belichick's girlfriend? Yeah, he's going to need that girlfriend on that
she met up with the ACC and said, put that game. She wants to go to the Bay Area. You know?
Friday night in the Bay Area for Miss Belichick.
Her burner Mac needs to be repaired. So she's excited about that trip.
On the airplane.
They're going to go to Napa. They're going to go to Napa the day before. Make love under a fucking oak tree. Like that scene in Shawshank where he talks about it. Right? Anyway,
this shit is fucked up.
Yeah. Well, dude, I have no idea, by the way. Like, I believe Cal is better coached, better prepared, better players. It's just Enter Sandman. This is a Lane Stadium play and 3,000 miles travel.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Hokies, but it wouldn't shock me here either. Then the Wahoos of Virginia. This is kind of like both coaches on the hot seat. Tony Elliott coming out to Berkeley. Virginia's going to lose this game. Yeah. I'll take Cal. I feel pretty decent about this one.
Yeah. Yeah. This might be my most confident one in the ACC of their wins. Yeah. Give me Cal. 5-4 for both of us.
5-4. There we go. Well, here's the thing that I guess could hamper our. If he loses that Virginia Tech game, do they fire him?
No, I mean, I don't think they're running to fire him unless they start like 2-5 or something.
Well, and if they fire him, do they put Harsin at head coach?
It's good. Well, the at Louisville game, there's a bye week after that, and then the Duke home game, there's a bye week. Usually, it would happen between one of those, I would think.
Keith Lange's cracking me up. He's saying, honestly, Belichick's going to bang his old lady on the 50-yard line before Wilcox. Well, Belichick would, because he understands history. He knows John Madden taught a football class. He's probably like, hey, honey, look, I put up with all your bullshit all year. All right. All your bullshit about, all these interviews. You're telling me which questions I can answer, not answer. Even went to your goddamn Miss Universe thing in Maine. Right. So the least you can do is meet me at the 50-yard line at midnight of Cal Memorial Stadium. All right. Secret of the pros, right? Yeah, win. Next, they head to Louisville. They will lose this game. I feel very confident in this being a loss.
Yeah. They're gonna get blown out. 5-5.
Yeah. Then they got a bye week. Look at Marshawn. There's Marshawn, right? Then they head to Palo Alto for the big game. Dude, Cal's gonna fuck them up again. I know. You know what? I can never say fuck them up because these games are always insane.
I was gonna say last year was 24-21.
Dude, a couple years ago, I had money on Cal money line, and they tied the game. So Cal was, in my opinion, they were way better than Stanford that year. But of course, they lay a lemon, and they tie the game with 10 seconds left to send it to overtime, but they missed the extra point. So it doesn't go to overtime, and I lose my bet. I'm still taking Cal.
Yeah, Wilcox beat him 4 in a row now. Make it 5.
Yeah, I'm back on board. Let's go. And then the SMU Mustangs head to Berkeley. I feel like this could be a sneaky game.
We both picked Cal in the SMU preview.
I'll stick with that. I think it's the right play. I'll put it like this. Between this Virginia Tech, there's so many 50-50 games you're doing here. They're going to get one of those other ones that would I gave Minnesota as a loss to Cal. One of those ones I feel like Cal will get one of those games. So that puts us at how many wins? 7?
7-5 for both of us.
Lock? Because the win total is 5.5. I love these odds, by the way. Plus 15,000 to win the ACC, but plus 4,000 to make the playoffs. So what's going on here? Mac, I want to talk about something. Is there a shot? This is why sports is so great. The whole team leaves. You go out and get a bunch of guys that want to play, I think. Excited to be a part of a Power 5 program. This schedule is actually awesome. There's no Miami. There's no Clemson. There's no Florida State, even though you might want Florida State on the schedule these days. Your best team from a year ago is SMU. You get them at home. It's a nice schedule, dude.
Yep.
I know Cal's not going to go 12-0, but I'm just saying. Besides the Louisville road game, I don't think there's an automatic loss on the fucking schedule.
I was gonna say, and they missed Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So like the odds like they missed 4 out of the top 5 teams from an odds standpoint. Yeah, I mean this is a great schedule. I mean, and like you said, there's no for sure loss outside of probably at Louisville. They're not going to win that game, but yeah, I'm with you, man. They got a great schedule. Getting SMU at home late in the year, SMU. I mean,
dude, when you're on the hot seat and you see the schedule, you're like, well, I'm doing all right.
Another year.
This is the type of year that could get you an extension. All right. I mean, now I sat there and looked at this today and I was like, this team could be fucking 10-2. Like I actually believe they could be 10-2. Now so we do like the floor and the ceiling. The ceiling to me is 10-2. Like realistically, I think they could actually be 10-2. I think they lose to Louisville and then someone else, like whether it's Duke, whether it's SMU, whether it's Minnesota. Now the floor, if it turns into a disaster, I think your only like automatic wins are like 3-9, maybe like Texas Southern, San Diego State, and Virginia, or maybe Stanford.
Yeah, Texas Southern. I would say 3-9. They're going to be in a lot of 50. I mean, one thing about Wilcox, they're going to be in a bunch of close games again.
Well, that's the thing, though, dude. Is like you sit there. It kind of reminds me of Dundee.
Yeah.
Yesterday, where it's like they went and got a bunch of guys. It's like if he's going to go out, he's going out on his terms.
I love it. I love it when coaches, it usually works that way. They, like don't fucking cave and just go out on. Hey, if I'm going down, I'm going down my way, baby.
Well, that's what makes it so interesting. Then is because you're sitting here looking at this team and you're saying, this really could be a special year. It really could. If you're a Cal fan, I know you're probably sitting there saying like, fuck all this crazy shit, the state of the program. Mac gave it a 2. You know what I mean? Like these people are fighting. And it's like, dude, College Game Day came to your place last year. The place was rocking. It looked awesome. You just got Ron Rivera, a former Cal guy, as your GM. And you get this schedule? All I'm saying, there's potential. There's fucking potential. I can't wait to watch it. But are we locking up the over here? I think we should lock the over.
I think we should. I think
it's a crazy lock.
There, but I mean, they missed 4 out of the top 5 teams. What else?
And how about this? If they do fire Wilcox, let's say he loses to Oregon State and Minnesota, and he's 1-3. He's 1-2. Harsin will. He's got a guy who's won like fucking 70% of his games.
Yeah.
I'm on the over. Lock it up. Let's go.
Double lock.
Let's go. All right, folks. That is our show. We're breaking down all 136 teams. Subscribe, tell a friend. We are the College Football Experience. Moneyline Mac's on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And don't forget, all of our shows come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Tell a friend. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast, as I will be on there tonight talking college football. Till next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience, Cal Golden Bear style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins. Over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a Friday day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome at 30,000 feet. Like, damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honorary. Liquid, solar sad, psycho harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armory's DeLorean steel. Type of warrior's ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
It's the revenge of our stealth, the intelligence plane. Bomber, a manifestation of karma. The far left, low keys, let it be. Listeners, whispering words of wisdom. Ghost dog breathe in the shadow of leaves. Same darkness hides criminals, crooks, and thieves. Special forces, black ops. Bad brains, fishbone, black rock. Matter of fact, Chuck Berry and James Brown. But most of the true story can't be found. Unchained melodies inscribed to freestyle. I rock rhyme mosaics more potent with each style. Crack the system more open with each file. Upgrades and free hotels with these miles. Expansion team dilated peoples in town. If there's a better sound in it,
Can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found.